Good morning.
Good morning.
I can see that everyone's going to have to come in closer. Come on in. If we're going to make this work. Don't be shy. Come on in, folks. My name is Mayor Ramon Hayes, Town of LaConner. We want to welcome you here today. It's a very joyful day for the town when we are able to take a 40-year dream and see it realized. I want to tell you just a little of the history of this project, and then we have many people to thank, and we'll also have some speakers this morning as well. Just over 6 years ago, shortly after coming into office, John Doyle and I, my town administrator, we sat down together and we kind of were formatting, what do we want this administration to look like? Where do we want to go with it? And remember now, this was just the beginning of the economic downturn, and there was a lot of uncertainty in this country. But one thing for sure, we knew we wanted to implement was the LaConner Boardwalk. We knew that it would provide jobs, a lot of economic activity over the years, and that would be a huge win for this town, for this state, for the people of this community, and for the people of Skagit County. So we started laying out the groundwork for that. So John, if you'll take care of the technical side, get us permitted, and that was never easy anytime you're trying to do something over water. When it comes time, I'll start working on the money. And so here we are today. And it's in great parts. We have so many people to thank today. It's never one person who can pull off a project like this. It's a team of people from our town council who has always supported the LaConner Boardwalk project. I believe we have a couple of members from the town council here today. Would you stand up and be recognized? Just raise your hand so people can recognize you. Thanks for being here. The LaConner Planning Commission. These folks lay the groundwork for the vision of the town. Say, hey, this is a positive direction. Let's move in this direction. And they formulate policy and suggestions and recommendations for the council to act upon. So I want to thank the LaConner Planning Commission. Marna, raise your hand. Any others here? Our town's administration, our public works department. They work hard every day to provide services that we need, infrastructure for our city, and they do a fantastic job. We're so grateful to them. Today is a dedication of phase 1 of the boardwalk, which goes all the way from Gilkey Square to the south end of the former Palmer's building. Dave, good to see you. Thanks for being here. It is also a pseudo groundbreaking for Schedule C of the boardwalk, which will bring it from the south end of Palmer's all the way down to Calico Cupboard, which will complete the project in LaConner's retail core. There are a few people that we want to acknowledge prior to getting really going with the festivities here. One person that I would like to acknowledge is Thomas Clark, a good friend of mine, who donated a sculpture, which you can see over here, of a mermaid to honor his late love, Kirsten Beauregard. So this sculpture, created by Tracy Powell, is a permanent fixture on the LaConner Boardwalk. We're very pleased to have it here.
Thank you,
Thomas! There he is! In the flesh. Good to see you.
It's good to see you, Mayor.
Thank you for being here. Jen?
All right, hi, honey. In my pocket.
I'd like to mention another man who has made a huge contribution to this day. In fact, in many ways, it's as a result of his vision that we're here today. I'm speaking of Don Olson, who passed away last year. And Don had owned many properties in town and was always a very large supporter of the town of LaConner. Not only that, he really believed in the town of LaConner. In fact, so much so that he decided that he'd get started early with the boardwalk project, and he built a private boardwalk on the front side of the Lime Dock and the LaConner Landing building, which you can see it's just north of the existing town boardwalk that connects together. Now it's all one large public boardwalk, and we're very pleased for that. And Don's family is here today, and we want to recognize them. Kim Michelson and her husband Chris are here today. Along with Steve Olson, Don Olson's son, and his son Mark Olson, and his grandson Luke are here today. Will you thank them for being here? And we want to thank them very much for the contributions that they have given to LaConner and the vision that Don set forth and the path that he laid so that we could all follow it and benefit from it today. Thank you very much. And I have put together an official letter here. I have several copies. I'd like to hand them to you now so that you may have them. Come on up. Come on up. Thanks for being here. Thank you. I'd like to recognize another wonderful contributor, set of contributors to the town of LaConner. I'm speaking of Fred and Margaret Martin. Fred came to this town and Margaret in 1956. And Fred decided that, you know, the town was depressed. Businesses weren't quite what they were. In fact, a lot of the businesses that you see along First Street were actually boarded up. And Fred said, this can't stand. If we're going to have a community that is going to be economically viable, not only for their own business, but for the entire town, then I need to get involved. He quickly joined the Chamber of Commerce, encouraged businesses to locate to LaConner, and in a great way laid the infrastructure for what we see here today as one of Washington's premier destinations. In fact, the Rotary Club of LaConner, of which Fred and Margaret are a vital part, wanted to be a part of this boardwalk project as well, and have donated this wonderful pergola that I'm standing under to the town. And at this time, the Rotary would like to make a short presentation to you regarding this pergola and the contributions that Fred and Margaret have made. Come on up.
Okay, I knew I should have worn my heels. I'm short. My name is Marge Milnor, actually Marge Hoover Milnor, and I'm an incoming president for LaConner Rotary Club, and I've known Fred and Margaret for a lot of years, and Fred and both of them have been huge contributors to our club. And I also want you to know that this pergola is probably one of the biggest projects that our Rotary Club has done for the town, and we look forward to a long working relationship with the town. So it is my honor, Fred, to show you what will be displayed on the pergola. It will be in bronze, and I understand we'll have two of them. So it's donated in 2014 to the town of LaConner in honor of Fred Martin, longtime member and true friend, Rotary Club of LaConner. Thank you, Fred and Margaret, for everything you've done. Give that to you, Fred. You can wear it around your neck.
Get a good shot of that. It's wonderful. Fred and Margaret, thank you from your town.
We're proud of you. Good.
contributions of the